guys hear that? You guys hear that? Wow. That's the first time this generator has been off in about 8 or 9 days, maybe. I mean, it's literally been running 24/7. I don't even turn it off to refuel it. I just open the cap and pour it in. Actually, it's been off for about for maybe a minute or two, 1 or 2 times, but only because it ran out of gas. So I just filled it back up and cranked it right back up. So other than that, I mean, it's literally been running 24/7 for the last 8 or 9 days. So the only reason I'm killing it today is because we are going to do an oil change. It is pretty overdue. You're supposed to do it every 100 hours. We're probably at about, man, I don't know, 160 hours, give or take. So we're going to throw this thing up on the table and put some fresh oil in it. So let's do it. Alright, so I just used my handy dandy drill to pull this bad boy off. Take a quick look inside. I guess I spilled a little fuel when I filled it up one night, so it just trickled down in there. That's nothing we can't just sop up with a towel though, but she's pretty clean for almost 1900 hours. I try to blow it out and wipe it out every time. I mean, like I said, we rely on this thing, so try to keep her running the best. Original spark plug too, by the way, which I've never had last this long personally. But that's the factory spark plug at 1900 hours. So we're going to go ahead and blow her out, change the oil, and I'm also going to clean the spark arrestor, which I can see is quite gunked up. Sometimes if that's really dirty, it'll stall, or it'll won't run as smooth. It'll surge. So just like to keep up with all that stuff. Alright, we are draining that oil out. Look how fast it's coming out. That oil is ripping hot, so it's like water. It looks pretty dark too. So we'll have all that drain out, and then we'll put some fresh 10W30 full synthetic in there, and be good to go. Alright, we got some fresh oil in there. You can see it's a nice clear yellow. Just a heads up in case any of you guys got this generator. Hopefully you read a little bit into the owner's manual or watch some videos online. But all the Predator 3500s, the Champion 4500 inverter, and this one that I've had, you fill the oil all the way up to the thread line. And that's how you know it's full. And you make sure you're on a level surface, obviously. Now, I will tell you, not only do I love this generator, which I've told you guys a million times, but this is one of the only generators I've owned that does not burn a little bit of oil. This one really holds up. It has a high quality gasket, I guess around the O-ring, I don't know, but it does really well. And I mean, we are in ripping hot heat. You know, you're talking 98, 99 degree heat, and it still runs. And the oil level is still always at the top. So I'm going to cover this up. Alright, I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but before it was jet black. Now it's back to its like copper color. And before I cleaned it, when I held it up to the light, you couldn't see anything through it. Now I cleaned it, you can see light through it. And this is what I use. This is just regular brake cleaner. You can also get carb cleaner. It pretty much does the same thing. And just spray it in there. Some people will pull this part out. I take this whole piece out as one. And then I spray around it, and I clean it up on both sides. Some people will put it out and let it sit in there for a while. I never really thought that as necessary, so I just did it real clean the inside screen, and now we're good to go. By the way, if you guys are moving stuff around your property, I know it's not the most heavy-duty thing in the world, but these hold up to 150 pounds. They're from Harbor Freight. I think they're like 35 bucks, and then you can wait till they get a coupon or whatever, and you can get it even cheaper. But I throw this 100-pound generator on it, and I just wheel it around, because these wheels that come on these things are just so small. They're great on concrete, flat ground, but on stuff like I have on the property, it just gets caught on everything. So it's just so much easier to put it on this. The wheels are much bigger, it rolls easier, and you kind of just place it wherever you need it to be. Also, when I do these tune-ups, usually little, oil changes and stuff, I'll throw some sea foam in there now and then, and I put a good amount in there. That way it really cleans out everything, keeps all the injectors clean and whatever, or the carburetor rather. That way we don't have any gunk ups and stuff like that. But I mean, this generator is running all the time, so there's not really a reason for, you know, the carburetor to like gunk up and stuff. So, but I put this in there anyway, keeps everything clean. It also helps clean the spark arrestor. So I dump some of this in there and then go inside before I have a heat stroke. Well, I got another project. I pulled this panel off, so this white panel, it hides all this. Look at this breather hose, guys. That is disgusting. So as water is getting filled up from the into the fresh water tank, it goes in here, and then whatever air is in the fresh water tank escapes from this little breather hose. And we were filling it up, and the water kept backfeeding through here and pouring out. So I blew through this hose. There's a lot. It must be all built up because there's very little air that passes through it. So I'm gonna have to replace it. I'm not even gonna try to clean it out. I think it's disgusting. It's not that expensive. It's just a clear plastic hose. I probably need maybe 5 or 6 feet of it, and we'll replace it. But if you have that issue where this is backfeeding, you may want to check that, because that could be your issue, and it's a pretty simple issue to fix. You just need the part. So I'm probably going to order it online. But I guarantee you, I mean, I could probably go to Home Depot and get plastic hose, but you know me, I try not to go out. So we're gonna get this squared away as soon as possible. But for now, we got the tank full, so we should be good to go. All right, just ran to the hardware store. They didn't have 7/8. They had something slightly smaller. So you can see it's burnt. I melted it a little bit to soften this rubber, and then it fits right over this fitting, and then I'm gonna run it right in here, hook it up to the tank, and then we will be good to go, guys. So just gotta make the clamp a little bigger so it fits, slip it over it, tighten it on, and then we're done. So now that all that is done, emptied out the car, we just made a water run to fill up our blue rain barrel, because it hasn't rained, guys. I don't know what it is. I keep getting these rain alerts. Just doesn't want to come. Or it'll sprinkle for like a second, and that's it. That's all I get. Which is crazy here in Florida. I've never heard of that. Normally it rains every day here. However, when I leave, as soon as I leave this area, it pours. Wherever we go, it pours. And I come back here and I'm like, oh man, I hope it rained. You know, because I got, Sam has flowers out, and I'm trying to collect rainwater. Nothing. It doesn't rain. So, I don't know. Anyway, check this out. So, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we went to Sam's Club, and I found these things called kiss melons, and they look almost identical. I'm gonna put a picture up if I can find one, because I've never heard of them before this, but they look identical to cantaloupes, except I find personally that they are way sweeter than cantaloupes, and the fruit inside is much softer. So I really enjoyed them. So I decided to plant a couple, and look, guys, they are sprouting. I mean, I planted these maybe not long, maybe 3-4 days ago, and they're almost each of them sprouted too. This one has one coming in. This is 2. These have 1 each, but that's great. I just got to find an area to plant them. You know, I just wanted to start them in the cups. Obviously, they're going to need a bigger root, but they grew really quick. So if you guys are interested in those are awesome. They're really sweet. So an update on the tote. We did end up taking it to a dump station, and it was a lot easier getting it out than getting it in. However, it did leak a little bit. It didn't like pour out, but it did leak a little bit on the tarp, so I'm glad I put the tarps down. And you know, I took all that out, sprayed everything down, sanitized. We got that, I don't know, I think it's in the car right now, but it's Chemical Guys. They have a new car smell air freshener. I think I told you guys about it, but I'm not sure. But it smells really good. It's pricey. It's like 10-11 bucks for the spray container of it, but it works really well, and it smells banging. So definitely recommend that. So the car smells good again, nice and clean. I think we're gonna keep it as an emergency backup, but if I ever do use it again, I'm only gonna dump half, because anything over half, it's just too heavy and cumbersome to move around. And I'm just not looking to throw my back out trying to dump my black and gray tanks. So this is the next thing I wanted to show you guys. So on this one, the original spout was broken. Like the shutoff valve didn't work, so it was always letting out fumes, and if it falls over or whatever, it would leak. But I ordered these new flexible spouts, And it's like, oh yeah, it'll fit. So they sent me a wide thread topper and a finer thread, I guess, if it has different thread patterns. Well, I put the one on that's correct for it. However, this rubber seal that's on this part, it doesn't make a tight fit, and when it rocks, it leaks out. I don't know. So I'm gonna keep this gas can as a backup. I put the same one on that gas can over there. That one doesn't leak. I don't know if it's just the way I have it on there now or what, but these are the best gas cans that I have found on the market. These are carb compliant. However, they pour really pretty fast, and all you have to do is push this green button to release the fluid, and it comes right out. It has a breather tube in the middle, so the fluid comes out. I don't know if you can see it on either side, and then the air goes back in the middle. These do not leak any fumes, they don't leak any fluid, they're really great. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these as backups in case a big storm comes and we really have to fuel up, you know, for backup emergency fuel. And I'm going to go ahead and buy probably 3 or 4 more of these no spill cans. They're a little pricey, I'll put them up above, but they are definitely the best can, probably the best can on the market for sure. They pour fast and they don't spill, and that's great. All right guys, just got back from Home Depot. And I picked a couple things up. Now, I didn't want to spend too much money yet on aesthetic stuff because I'm trying to get the well and electric ideally. You know, normally I'd go without the electric and I'd just run off solar, but in the summertime, it's just too hot here without air conditioning, and running that generator just costs so much money. So I did find some information on how to get a well, or how to get electric first, possibly, and a well. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, but it's expensive. The cheapest quote I got so far for a well is $8,500. They dig down 200 feet, and so they dig down 200 feet. The cheapest is $8,500, and the most expensive I found so far was $98.50. And that comes with a pump and a 4-inch pipe and everything. The only thing I would have to do is have an electrician then come in and wire a 4-prong 50-amp plug to the hot box, and then that way I could plug it into a generator or into a power pole, whatever I get. So I'm trying to save up for that. I just don't want to spend too much money aesthetically, but we met somebody at the flea market the other day, and he invited us by his house to take a look. We went by his property. He has, I mean, like, I don't know, I'm gonna put a picture of kind of what it looks like, sort of, but he had, I don't know, 2.5 acres full of plants and vegetables and fruit trees and chickens running around. Like, his whole property, there was like not an inch of space wasted. Everything was medicinal, and he was growing tea leaves and like a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, wow, I gotta have something like that. It looked awesome. So
his house was really cool.
Yeah, he had like it wasn't a what is that called?
A yurt. It was the shape as a yurt.
It was the shape of a yurt, but it was a hard house. It wasn't like a cloth. So today, I went to Home Depot, and I picked up 2 new plants. This is a banana tree, and we're gonna plant it right here in front, so it has a lot of soil, a lot of sunlight, excuse me.
And it gives us some privacy too.
Yeah, so eventually we're gonna have shoots coming out of the ground. They're basically baby banana trees, and we can dig those up and plant those. I would love to plant them all across here to kind of give us a front row more privacy. And I could do the same thing on the other side too, which would be awesome. So right now we're gonna dig up the ground, plant this. I also picked up a little lime bush.
Tree.
A little lime tree. I'm not sure where we're gonna put it. It says full sun. So I was originally gonna put it here, but we got this big pine tree and I just don't know if it's gonna get enough sun.
I think it is.
All right.
Because we get sun over here during the day. Or you could put it next to the sunflower, because that one gets a lot of...
I guess we'll see.
And guys, I stole something from Home Depot.
Oh. So I like, when we go to Home Depot...
I'm going to jail over $4.
Yeah. When we go to Home Depot, I like picking up these...
they're up there.
Just those plastic flats trays that, you know, they have like a whole bunch of plants in. Because I could do seed starts and stuff like that in them. So we were back behind Home Depot grabbing a couple, and we found these...
I only grabbed one.
Yeah, they had like 3 of them left. I think they're all dying. I think they were about to throw them out. But these are pretty cool.
Dusty Miller.
So we found one, so we're going to plant that. And she got another hibiscus bush.
Yeah, it's called a something pineapple.
Yeah, that one's huge, and the flowers are pretty.
The one that I was gonna get was like $20, and then I looked like the next aisle over, and they were $15, and I'm like, this is much bigger and it's cheaper, so I got that. So I'm pretty excited. They're gonna probably bud tomorrow.
Yeah.
My hibiscus is over there that I think I showed you guys.
Right there.
And it's doing really well. It really opens up and it's blooming a lot, so I'm excited.
I had to pick up a really small banana tree because our car is really small. They had some for the same price that were quite a bit bigger. They had a lot more leaves. And they were like, the stalk was more robust and everything, but again, I had to fit this in the car. So I figured once I plant it in the ground and the roots can spread out, it'll shoot up and stalk out. And I don't know how long till we get bananas. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research online, but I'm excited to get that started. I really want to have it like self-sustainable property where I can just have tons of fruits and vegetables, and maybe down the line I can do like meat chickens, because they don't take a lot of time. They take 8 weeks till you can butcher them. So if we, yeah, Sam doesn't want anything to do with that, which is right, which is fine, and I'll handle that. But I really want to try it, especially as an experience. But I like it because they're 8 weeks. So if we want to do that for a little bit and then head out on the road, do some traveling, you know, it's not like a long-term commitment, which is great. All right, let me get a shovel. I'm going to start digging this hole so we can plant this banana tree and the lime tree. All right, she's going in. So we poured some on the bottom, and then we filled the rest up to the top just about, and then we're going to use the soil, the sandy soil, to cover it. And I think that's going to help keep the actual soil kind of more moist. The sun out here just dries everything out.
I have to water everything like twice a day, once in the morning and once at night, to be able to keep everything alive, because it's, I don't know, like, I don't know if he mentioned it, but I feel like we are in holes. Like, it rained yesterday finally, but whenever there's a cloud or say it's gonna rain, it never does over here.
Yeah.
So I'm really surprised it rained at all.
Yeah, we're gonna fill this back up, and then I'm gonna put my lime bush in pretty much the same way. The lime bush calls for a hole 2 times the size of the pot, and then we're gonna do the same thing with some soil, and then cover it with sand, and be good to go. All right, and there's our little lime tree. Bush tree. So hopefully that grows and prospers and gives us some limes. Eventually I want to get some other citrus, like oranges and lemons.
They were too big to fit in the car. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to find like a small, I don't know, a smaller one. But that's a great start. Happy about it. It is so hot.
Milo's ready to go in already?
Yeah, every time I dig a fresh pile of sand, you know, it's cool because it's underground. He sits right on it. Now he's a mess. All right, I'm gonna go inside and cool down. You know, I am so grateful for air conditioning, guys. I wouldn't be able to survive down here without it. I'd have to move somewhere north, probably Maine or something, where it's nice and cool. This morning, the generator ran out of gas because I wasn't paying attention, and it turned off. And I went to go, I gassed the generator up, went to go turn it back on, and all I heard was like a humming, buzzing noise coming from the air conditioner itself. And I'm like, crap. I'm like, I really hope like the AC capacitor or the motor or the compressor didn't go out. So I had
a vent that we had to go to.
Yeah, and Sam had her flea market that she went to today. So we were kind of late for that because I was dealing with this. But I mean, we were sitting there for probably a good half hour trying to get it to kick over, and then finally I'm like, I gotta get up on this roof, I gotta see what's going on. So I went up there, pulled the cover off, and I blew everything out with my little leaf blower that I've shown you guys before. That thing is great. You guys, there's so many like uses for that thing. It's just worth having. They're like 50 bucks, I think, from Harbor Freight. And you can use the 20% off coupon if they have a lot of the times. So you could pay, I don't know, like $35, $40 for it. $4, I think. And so I went up there, blew everything out, I need to clean these coils. They are dirty. They make like coil cleaner spray and like a little metal brush, I believe. At least that's what I saw online. So I definitely got to clean that. But the AC blows ice cold and keeps us nice and cool in the summertime, but it was not kicking on. So I went up there, blew everything out, and I went to turn the fan to see if, I don't know, maybe the motor was jammed, something was stuck in it. So I was manually moving it while she had it on, which is, you know, all right, dangerous, but I was using a flathead screwdriver, so it wasn't my finger. You know, I was just trying to move it. Maybe it needed like a little oomph or a little loosen up, but it was so, there was a lot of tension on it. It wouldn't like free spin. You would move it, and then as soon as you let go, it would stop. So there's a little seal. It's hard to explain it without showing you guys, but where the bar for the fan goes into the motor, there's a little seal. You got to pull that gasket back, and I sprayed WD-40 in there, and then while she had it off, I was manually turning it with my hand, and that loosened it up a ton. Now it's free flowing, it's moving really easily. And then we came back down here, turned it on, and it kicked on right away. So I mean, it's the original air conditioner from 2008. I actually love these air conditioners. They are way more reliable than anything put in any RV today, because they use different Freon, and they're just built better. They're not built like junk, because we had a brand new Nomadic Brisk Air 2 installed in our shuttle bus. If you guys are new here, we used to live in a shuttle bus that we converted, and we put a brand new air conditioner in it. It lasted 6 months and then crapped out. They wanted me to bring it to Camping World. They were going to diagnose it, warranty. I mean, guys, we were living in it. I couldn't do that, you know. I mean, I guess I could have, but how much money would we have spent staying in hotels? And we didn't have the car at the time. We only had the motorcycle. It was just a whole hassle. So I ended up having to buy another $1,000 air conditioner and paying somebody, I think it was like $200-300 to install it. So, and I had to drive all the way to him. I was like 3 or 4 hours away from this guy, and he was able to do it right then and there. I didn't have to sit there and wait, you know, or bring it to Camping World, which was nice. But with this air conditioner, I mean, it's from 2008, guys, and it works. I don't want to jinx it, I really don't, but it works flawlessly, and it blows ice cold, and it keeps us cool. So if you guys have an RV or even a house air conditioner, make sure you're keeping up on that maintenance. It's super important. Anyway, I am gonna hop in the shower. We just turned the water heater on to get some hot water going. Not that I need it. A cool shower sounds pretty good. And we are gonna close this vlog out, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys are all doing great. Thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.